Afternoon. Picking my peppers from the tree. It's harvest time. Got my little bucket. I'm going to pick it from this one and that one over there. Then I'm gonna go further up in the backyard and I'm gonna get some thyme, because by popular demand, today I am making oxtail. And it's gonna be, of course, a delicious sauce. So join me in the kitchen for a glass of wine and making some good oxtail. And thank you again for joining me. And yes, you like my nice jacket? I love this jacket. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Order 66, baby. Check it out. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you in the kitchen soon. All right, guys, I am in the kitchen and I'm getting ready to season my oxtail. All right, so for this one, I have one tablespoon of oxtail seasoning. It's optional. And I have 1 tablespoon of complete seasoning. Okay, and here I have a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon garlic powder, half a teaspoon onion powder. And this is the browning, and it's a half a tablespoon of browning sauce. You don't need a whole lot of browning on it. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. You can use a spoon, but I'm gonna use my hands to blend it all together because I want it to be well seasoned. So you just kind of rub them in together. It's kind of hard sometimes with oxtail. These are some big pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and rub the seasoning all over the oxtail, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start the beginning process in frying it up, okay? So my seasoning it's well blended together, as you can see. I use my hand to just rub it in together so everything can soak up all that seasoning and the browning on it before we go ahead and start. So my duchy is on the stove. And I'm gonna I don't put a whole lot, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. But I don't put a whole lot of oil in it, just enough to cover the bottom. See? Because you're not deep frying the oxtail, you're just browning it. Like when I make my browns, or when you're browning anything. So I'm gonna let the oil heat to a good, nice heat, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start browning them. My oil is now hot and ready. Turn the stove down a little. I think it was a bit too high. And I'm gonna put this in there. Come on now, get off of there. And remember, you're not deep frying. You're actually just browning the oxtail meat. It's only 3 of us eating, so it's not a whole lot of oxtail I'm making, which is alright, because tomorrow Joe is doing a whole nother thing for dinner, whole nother kind of dinner. And you just go ahead and put all the pieces in, which I'm going to do with the rest of them, until you brown on each side. I like to do all around sides. Now, you don't have to brown it if you don't want it. If you prefer pressure cooker. With me, I like my oxtail slow cook on the stove top in my duchy, like how I grew up with it. Just want to give you an idea of the chicken brown. I'm browning the other side now. I kind of move them around, especially the big pieces on the each side, just to brown not just the top and bottom, but also the sides. All right, I took out the meat because they're brown, and I pour off the oil because you know oxtail tend to have its own oils and fat. Even though I trimmed up the meat even more myself after I got it from the store. I'm trying to just set, there you go. Okay, and now I'm gonna add the water. Now this is about 5 to 5.5 cups of water in the pot. Now this is not the sauce. This is just water I'm gonna put in here so the oxtail can cook down. So some of brown oxtail in, and I'm gonna go ahead and place these back in here. No, we don't, Bob. What? Tunes nice today. Nice tunes today. I might put a little more water in just to cover. I'm struggling one piece of the meat here, guys. I might put a little more water in to cover over the meat, only because I like when the beginning of my meat's cooking. And I'm gonna pour this all back in there, guys, all of it back in there. And I'm actually gonna make the sauce in the bowl with all this residue. All right, so I'm gonna put just a little more water in there to cover the top of the meat. And then after I do that, I'm gonna turn my stove back up, cover it, and let it cook. But I'm not gonna turn it really high though. Added my extra water, turn up my stove a little higher. Not blasting high, guys, it's probably medium high. If you have gas stove, you can gauge it. And then I'm gonna seal the deal and let that cook. My veggies are prepped and ready. And I have my veggies and my herbs, I should say. I have my scotch bonnet pepper, my onions, my Roma tomato, and I have some bell peppers in there. Not a whole lot. Red bell pepper, just less than a half of a bell pepper, and that's optional because I know not everybody likes bell pepper. And my green onions, scallion, and I have it in the same bowl that I'm gonna make the sauce, and that's the oxtail residue in there. And I'm gonna cover this and let it sit until the right time. All right. We're gonna do our meat tenderness check. It's about 2.5 hours cooking now. So I said 2.5 hours, not 3, for my maybe OCD people that want it to be by maybe 3 on the dot. So I'm gonna turn these around a little bit. So my fork goes through it pretty good, so that's good. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. Oh, I don't want to break it apart. Oh, nothing like slow cooking on the stove. Look at that. I'm gonna let it cook a little bit longer. Just soften up a little bit more. Look at that. Ooh-wee. Soften up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna add the sauce and the vegetables and cook it down. And then I'm also going to actually maybe add a little more seasoning, this depending on how it tastes. All right, guys, since my meat is at a good tender, this is my second time doing this. I'm actually making my oxtail with wine, red wine, Cabernet Sauvignon, exactly 1/4 of a cup. And this is my second time making oxtail sauce with wine in it. Let me see if I can get this a little bit more. So there it is, red wine. You can use whichever red wine you want. It does have add a nice flavor. And this is totally optional. I just happened to discover it and actually like it with the red wine. So I'm gonna put that in there. Let me get that stirred around a bit, and I'm gonna turn my meat. Oh yes, and this meat is already soft, so I wait until it's like nice and soft, and I'm gonna make my sauce, and that's gonna be the next addition to it with the vegetables that I showed you earlier. So this is gonna be quite delicious. As I said, the wine is optional. More. And you can use as much or less as you want if you choose to do it. Okay? I'm gonna go ahead and add the vegetables and then the sauce. All right, so here we go. Go ahead and put the vegetables in. Then I'm gonna go ahead and make that sauce and add it to this, and I'm gonna cover it halfway and let it continue to cook. Okay? Give me a minute. Guys, look how pretty that looks. That looks nice, don't? Wow, looks so nice, right? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the sauce on. I made it, and the sauce is gonna go on. I'm actually gonna test it and see if I need more of the sauce blend once it cooks down a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir that in. I had my stove turned down a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and stir that little sauce mixture in. And I'm gonna, like I said, halfway cover the pot and let this cook a little bit more. I realize some people may not understand what halfway the pot cover means. So if you can see, some of the pot cover is opened a little bit. There you go. The cover, so when it starts boiling, the sauce gets thicker. It just leaves it open. Okay, and I might add I think with this I'm gonna add a little more sauce mixture, only because the meat is not a lot, but we have a lot of thick pieces in it, and I want it to get in there and blend with it really good. And as I said, with all my dishes, as you go, you can always just really just to your liking. And I'm doing it to my liking, and it's never failed me yet. Just a little faith, put your mind to it, you can surely do it. My sauce is now nice and cooked down. You see how it's like, you know, it's thick enough.
It's nice and cooked down, man.
There you go. And now we're gonna add the best part. What? The butter beans?
Butter beans! Bop.
Yup. And we're gonna let this cook for maybe about 5 more minutes, because the butter beans are already cooked. And then we'll be good to go.